His name is Tony Dungy, and yes, he's won a Super Bowl as a head coach in the NFL, but there is so much more to Tony Dungy than just football. That's what makes him so interesting. Tyler Safratowicz was struggling as a wrestler at the University of Minnesota. It had become one of those years, but then the phone rang.
Wow, it was crazy. I mean, Tony called me up. It was a time when I was really down in my life, and it was weird to have somebody of that status, as you see in the world, call me when at a point in my life where I felt like I shouldn't have maybe had that phone call, and it really encouraged me, and it was great. I mean, he helped me feel like I could lead this team, lead our team, and it really shaped me to grow in my faith and grow as a person.
Yes, Tony Dungy had taken time to call, not to salute a champion, but to remind one how important his role still was.
Well, Tyler had a disappointment. His team was doing well, the wrestling team was going to the Nationals, and he felt he had let them down by not wrestling his best. And he wasn't sure what his role was going to be. And we've had that same situation with players who maybe got injured when we're in a playoff run, we're going to the Super Bowl and they're hurt, and they could have a tremendous impact. And that's what I told him. Guys will be watching you to see how you handle this, and you can have an impact. You can help your team without being on the mat. And I was very proud of him because he did that. And he's a special young man, and it was just one of those situations where just a 5-minute phone call could really help someone's outlook.
Tyler got back to form. Dungy helped take him there.
Yeah, out of the blue, I had no idea. He says, "Hey, this is Tony Dungy," and I was like, "Tony Dungy, is this somebody fooling with me?" And no, it was really him, and he was really there to help me.
Pretty special.
Pretty special, absolutely.
Such is the mission for Dungy, the author of 2 best-selling books that have created a buzz. Quiet Strength and Uncommon are about fundamentals that have just a little to do with football, like in Tyler's situation. He reflected in his writing, feeling sorry for yourself is not a place you want to journey.
I think I got from my dad just an outlook. My dad would always say, his question would be, what are you going to do to make the situation better? Okay? Yeah, you spend a little time, analyze where you are, but don't spend a lot of time on why you were here, why this was wrong, what's bad. You're here. What can you do to improve the situation? And that's the way I always try to look at it. We get a penalty on the field, someone drops a ball, you have a bad call. You can spend a quarter rehashing everything and falling further behind, or you can say, how are we going to overcome this? What play are we going to run next? And that's what I always try to tell people, especially young people. Yeah, there's going to be disappointments, but you can turn them into championships. Teams don't go undefeated. You lose games, and you have to learn how to bounce back.
That's what he tries to convey on this day to the Gopher wrestling team. There are the uncommon.
You can be uncommon in 2 ways.
What makes Dungy unique is part Super Bowl ring as player and coach, part who he is and how he lives his life. He left coaching to reach more kids, including his own. What do you think about when you're in the house and you think about what they might be watching?
It's actually harder with your own kids because you want them to do so well, and sometimes you get frustrated, and I find myself having to sit back and try to tell myself those lessons. Be positive, be encouraging, help them out, keep that patience. But you do. You want your kids to do well. You want them to get the best. And I try to do the same thing. What do they really need at this point? Do they need discipline, or do they need encouragement? You know, do they need a tearing down, or do they need building up? And most of the time, your kids need to be built up.
Is that true of most people, do you think, even professional athletes?
I think it definitely is. I know for me, in the whole 28 years that I coached, encouragement was the key. Yes, you tell people what they're doing wrong, you instruct, but what they need is encouragement. They need confidence. They need that sense that you're in their corner, number one, and that they can do it. And building up, to me, is something that's so critical.
Dungy believes character is what comes from encouragement. He also believes character can be recognized and sought in building an NFL team.
For us, evaluating character was a big part of our selection process. Guys that we wanted on the team, are they going to be good teammates? Are they going to be people that are going to represent the organization well in the community? Are they going to be guys you can depend on when you do have some tough times? Those were the important questions that we wanted to know, and we'd go to great lengths. We'd talk to high school teachers, high school coaches, college professors, but as you say, oftentimes the equipment men, the people, the ball boys. What kind of person is this guy really?
And that's why he has so many eager followers. People want to model the man as much as the coach. They seek his opinion on everything from performing as a coach to performing as a husband to his wife, Lauren.
I think being a good husband is being a good listener, being a good supporter, not feeling like you have all the answers. You know, you want to be the leader of the family, but you've got to know that your wife has intuition, she has instincts too, and you got to be able to listen.
That's Tony Dungy, a man who has excelled in sports, but more importantly, a man who did not set out to conquer football, but to live a faith-based life that mattered because of the way he lived it. When the final book is written, what do you want the legacy or the tombstone to say about Tony Dungy?
I would hope that people said that in my 28 years of coaching that I helped my players get better and improve and be the best that they could be, that I helped our players be better men off the field as well, and that I helped the communities that I lived in when I coached be better places to live. And if people would write that about me, and that was all they ever wrote, I'd be pretty happy.
Life to the Max is brought to you by Life Touch, photography for a lifetime.